So we are showing the demonstration of the Hearts AI camera app. On the screen you have this particular logo named Hearts AI camera. Double click on it. It will take a few seconds to half a minute for this thing to completely load. Wait for that time. Once it's completely loaded, you will have this login screen over here. Enter your login credentials. Once you log in, this is the home screen that you see. I'll just orient you what the screen is like. So you have three basic panels here. One is the Hair Studio portal. The other is a real-time FU, that is follicular unit viewer, and this is called as a settings tab. Now let's go into the Hair Studio. So in the Hair Studio, this is integrated in this particular AI camera app, so you can use the Hair Studio directly through this app as well. If you don't want to use this, you can simply double click on this and then you can go into the Hearts AI camera app. You should know what this settings tab is like. So this is just to show you the color coding of different types of follicular units. These are called as IP settings. Now usually this is the default settings. You can keep it at default settings and this should usually work good, but in case you need some kind of fine-tuning, you can alter these particular bars over here. What will happen after altering these bars is mentioned over here. So like for example the enhancer, after this setting, alter this setting if all hair are not detected. Raising the scroll bar will reduce the FPS. FPS is frames per second. As the frame per second goes down, the real time nature of this app will slightly decrease. Okay, but as it is kept at the maximum level here. So if you are not able to detect the hair properly, you can increase this setting. As I said, this is already at the maximum. The hair filter, alter this setting if a cluster of hair are not defined as one color. What it means is different clusters are color coded in different colors. Like for example, 2 might be in a certain color, 3 might be in a certain color, and if you feel that the coding is not proper, like for example, some 2s are seen as 3 coded colors, or some 3 hair follicular units are coded as 2 hair color, so you can change it to fine tune. The counter tuner, alter this setting if some calculations of follicular units are incorrect or missing. Raise the scroll bar will reduce FPS. Again, if you raise the scroll bar further, it is going to reduce the FPS and also it will reduce the real-time nature of this app. Okay, you don't need this particular tab called log here, but if anything is going wrong in the app, this will be shown in this log channel, and then you can, when you send this channel to the customer support, they'll understand what's happening in there. The CPU details, again, it's not for I mean, this is more so ever for you guys to know what is the configuration of the CPU and the GPU. Once that's done, let's go on to this menu bar over here. There are a few buttons and also a few icons here. So file, in new you can load a new file. Here you can align camera. We are going to look into more of this. You can restart GPU, stop GPU. Input, here you can load image file, so you can also click a photograph of a donor area and you can load that image and it will calculate the number of follicular units. The second one here is load video file. So you can also have a video file and you can load it over here and it will function the very same way as a real-time calculator. Vision device is if you have any kind of vision device, like usually with the Hearts V7 AI camera, you have the UHD camera attached to the arm, and when you select on that, here it's shown as Logitech HD camera. At in the V7 settings, this would be shown as UHD camera. If you select this, this will turn on the real-time camera. Device resolution, it will show you what resolution the camera is on right now. Okay, now let's move ahead here. Tools. In the tools section, your analysis stores snapshots of movie or camera, so you can actually click snapshots and store it over there. You don't need the enable debug mode here. Save current image, you can save the image that you have clicked. You can record the video of the real-time UHD device or the whole procedure that's going on through the camera. The recorded video can be saved over here by this button, save recording. Highlight detected hair, it means that if you want to highlight the hair like 2, 3, 4 or 1, you have to click on this button. If you don't want to highlight those hair, you can deselect this. Okay. More important, you should be knowing, like for example, wherever the cursor is moving, you will see what that particular button is for. Like I'm taking to load video file, you can see a small pop-up over there which defines what that button is for. This thing is for all the buttons, which will help you. It's self-explanatory as to understand what each button is for and what function it has. Settings tab. Okay, so this, more importantly, you don't need these two things. Like for example, this is maximum camera resolutions. This particular app supports 4096 by 2160, that is the 4K resolution. GPU utilization is you can alter this from 0.5 to, you can see as much it is, like the whole utilization is 0.97. Okay, so right now let's keep it at 0.5. Expected FPS is the frames per second that you can expect with this particular app at this particular setting. Okay, so like for example, the expected FPS here is 20 frames per second. Now if you want to increase the FPS, you can increase it over here like till 40. So this will give you more real-time nature, but our current V7 AI device is configured for 20, so I would suggest not to alter this. Display marking FPS. Now this is where you are doing a live procedure with the UHD device. Changing or altering this from lower to higher values means that the real-time nature of this app is going to slow down a bit. So you can keep it at 2, you can keep it at 5, up till 6 should be good too. But if you increase it anything further, display marking FPS, the real-time nature is going to go down a bit. So I would suggest you to keep it anywhere like somewhere around 2 to 4 or 6. So let's keep this as of now for, let's say, 4.5 to 5. Okay, now this is for recording. This icon is for recording the operation. This is for taking a snapshot, and this is to click a source. Like if you click on the source, it is basically the same thing like the input, either from the vision device or load video file or load image file. Okay, now this particular footbar over here shows what's happening to the app. Like for example, here it says please select the input source, since we haven't selected anything. There is a time bar over here which shows you how much time this app is on for, and this will define what FPS is the current app working on. Since there's no source selected, you cannot see anything over here. This one also says waiting for feed. That means since there's no video or there's no input device, there's no feed over here, so it's waiting for feed. Let's select video file. Now once you select a video file, once you click on this, the video is on over here. Okay, so with the video file you can play and pause this particular button. I can pause it whenever I want to. Now I'm just pausing this button so that you can see the color coding here. Depending upon the hair, it codes in different way. Like for example, the one hair is color coded red, the 2 hair is color coded blue, 3 hair is color coded green, and 4 and above is color coded as gray. The other thing that you should be knowing is, like, you can zoom it in with your mouse. The ruler button, if you move it, you can zoom it or zoom out, either ways. You can also move the screen in any direction by left clicking it, keep it pressed and move the mouse, or the screen moves with it. Right, you can view or selectively view different types of graphs by right clicking on it and selecting what follicular unit we want to see. So let's say I want to see only the one hair follicular unit, so you can click on the one hair follicular unit. So like for example, you can see these are the one hair follicular units. So wherever you see red, these are one hair follicular units. Now this, if the two hair are far apart as it usually are in groups, that's usually calculated as 1. Like let's assume, or let's say where's that? So let's say these are not close enough together to call it as 2 or 3, so it's coded as 1 and 1. Similarly, this one is coded as 1 rather than this as 2 together. But if you see, this can be called as 2, this can be called as 2, but not this over here, or not this over here, or even not this over here. So this way you can selectively see the 1 hair, 2 hair, 3 hair, 4 hair follicular units, and then you can selectively extract those first and then go for the next or the other types of follicular units. So let's say we want to see the 2 hair follicular units. This is a blue code over here, so all the blue hair are the 2 hair follicular units are highlighted in blue. As I said, you can also zoom it in with your mouse or the optical zoom. Currently the video is paused so that you can see different type of hair. This can happen in the same way in live video as well. Now I have selected the 3. So this way you can select different types of follicular units, and you can go ahead. If I even play this, it should keep showing you intermittently depending upon what FPS we have selected. So you can keep seeing those 3s and the green coded hair, green color coded hair. If the head is moving a lot, then you will obviously see this hair position also moving. So try to keep your patient's head as stable as possible. Okay, so see, I just paused and you can see these green hair over here. Now, so display marking FPS is currently at 5. I can make it at even 2. What happens if I do it at 2 is I will see this color coding less frequently, and this will give you more real-time nature. It won't be like stopping the video or stopping the real-time playback, but you won't see this green color code very frequently. It will come like 2 frames per second, so in each second you will see this green color flashing twice. But if I make it as 6, you will see this green color coding 6 times per second. But this will slow down the real-time effect a bit, so depending upon what you like, you can select these frames per second. If this was actual procedure going on, I could still start recording the operations here. So let's assume, though this is a video going on, you can, since it's on the screen, you can start recording the video. So I'm starting to record the video. Let's say I do this as procedure 1, and then I save. It will save this whole video, whatever is going on the screen. This can be later on used, or you can even hand it over to your patient, or you can look for yourself too. So you can save this. Obviously I'm not going to save this since there's no need to do that right now for me. Similarly, this is an ongoing video. As you can see now, the green color is flashing intermittently depending on the FPS that we have selected. You can click a snapshot here. So let's say this was a snapshot, and now you can choose where you want that to be saved, and then simply select or name anything you want to. Snapshot 1. So this is a snapshot that's saved. Now this IP settings, again, as I said, you can move this particular bar if you feel you want to fine-tune it. Just be sure of one thing, that if you're moving it, you move it by one increment every time and wait for the changes to take effect before you keep moving this further up, above or below. It will take a few seconds to see the effects of your changes that you have done. So be slow when you are changing the settings. That's pretty much it. So I guess, yeah, we have covered almost everything. So record video, save recording, highlight detected hair, settings. Yep, we have done everything. Yeah, most importantly here, you can change the camera orientation. So let's say you can flip based on your convenience as to how you want to see the video playing on, or the playback as you want to see it on your screen. You can flip the camera. So let's say I flip this to horizontal. Now this is, I flipped it to horizontal. Now if you want to flip it again, you cannot just flip it to vertical or whatever, because for it takes the current position as its original position. So you need to first reset it, then go back and then align camera. You can either flip it horizontal or vertical. You can even rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise. You can see, like, rotate it 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or 270 degrees. Anti-clockwise the same way. So let's say we do a 90-degree rotation. So this is a 90-degree rotation. Now once that's done, if you want to scale it, so you can even scale it by whatever percent you want to. Like I want to scale it horizontally to, let's say it's 0.05. I scale it to 1. So the scale, this is scaling, and then you can obviously go back and reset again. So this is reset to its original level. Again, going back to the camera, you can even scale it again, as I said, without even rotation. You can scale it. So let's say this is currently at auto, but you can scale it vertically to, let's say, 1. So this is the scaling. It obviously will work only if you have the right resolution going on. The current resolution is low because it's a video, so you can't see the stretching effect very properly. I reset this back again. So this is what's going on the video. So you can flip, you can rotate, you can scale, and you can reset. Just remember one thing: if you want to alter these particular alignments of the camera, for the second time you have to first reset it and then need to redo it again. This align camera is a very important feature to suit individual preferences as to how they want to see the screen. So it might be a bit tough initially for anyone who hasn't ever worked on looking on a screen and doing the procedure below. Usually, like, it's done during endoscopic surgeries or stuff like that. So to make this easier and much convenient for the surgeons, we have added on these particular features, so that if you feel that you are not getting the right orientation on the screen, you can always do these kind of arrangements with these settings, and you can suit yourself the kind of field of vision that you want on the screen. So that's the reason this particular features I've added, and I suggest you should use it to your convenience. The other most important thing that you need to know is, before you stop or you want to exit this application, you need to cleanly stop or cleanly exit the application, and you can do that by first stopping the GPU. And since the GPU is not on right now because we are playing a video, so you stop the GPU, or you can exit. After stopping the GPU, you can exit cleanly. The other thing over here is, let's say you don't want the GPU to do the calculation for you. So that time, so like let's say this is the current GPU calculation happening, and you don't want the GPU to keep calculating, you just want to see the video or the playback. You can stop GPU. So starting or stopping GPU during when the camera is on can cause a bit issue. So you can stop the camera first, stop the GPU and restart the camera. So what will happen is when you stop the GPU, there won't be any kind of color coding, and it won't show you 1 2 3 hair follicular units. It will simply show you whatever is in the camera. So it will show you only the playback. You can use that when you want to have a fast screen or for more real-time effect, and when you don't need any kind of follicular unit calculation. It is on individual preferences what you want to do. So that's the reason we have given that button. And again, most importantly, you have to exit it cleanly before you close this particular app. So let's exit it that way. That's it. So we have cleanly exited it. Next time if you want to restart, you can do the same thing. You double click on the icon here and then it should take the same course of action to start the app again. So that's it. If you guys have any queries, you can always let us know about it. You can send an email to info@ibrainrobotics.net and we'll be glad to help you. Thank you.